Good day, everyone. My name is Sasa De Rosario of the Department of Budget and Management. I'm the Chief Information Officer, and I'm primarily tasked to digitalize our public financial management. So what is public financial management? It's a committee that's composed of the Department of Budget and Management, the Department of Finance, the Bureau of Treasury, and the Commission on Audit. All right. First is I'm talking about the 2022 GovTech Maturity Index. What is it all about? So GovTech is it's a new framework in e-governance, basically to provide government as a platform that's citizen centric. All right. So our goal is to be blue or A in the GovTech Maturity Index. So in the next 5 years. So what are the indicators now for GovTech? So we have three categories. One's the Core Government Systems Index. Second is a Public Service Delivery Index. Third is a Digital Citizens Engagement Index. And the fourth one is a GovTech Enablers Index. So what do these indices say. Basically, these are standards, right? So, like our North Star, like we have to comply with in order to be mature in terms of GovTech. So, what does it mean by being mature in GovTech? It means that we are sufficiently providing enough public services digitally to you, our citizens, now. Because at the end of the day, it's your tax. You are the taxpayer, so you're funding this, and that's also why, as in contrast with fintech companies that they can fail fast or do it all over again if they fail and then try and error. In GovTech, we cannot do that. We cannot afford to make any mistakes because it's your money. So and that's why we really study uh, all of our decisions in terms of technology strategy, and we make sure that everything that we're developing are very much um, mature, no, in terms of technology management, no, and they've been like the solutions that we're providing to you have been there since time immemorial, and that's why not really time immemorial, but it's been there, proven and tested that are very much usable and is working. So and what you want to do is to for us to prove to you our citizens that public finance management will be effective, will be sustainable in the long run. That everything that we process internally, the data, the finances, the financial information, the numbers, will be publicly available for your consumption. So you can crunch them, you can do analysis on the data that's on an open data portal for transparency purposes. So because it's, as I mentioned, these are your money. So we are really taking good care of it by making everything transparent for you. And just wanted to show to you, this is also publicly available in the World Bank website, that there are very much well studied indices that you can look into, so how you're where we are in GovTech. So now come to designing the PFM architecture. So what uh why is it important? So similarly, when you're creating or building a house, you have to have a blueprint. You have to know where you have to know where you want to go. It's like a map. Okay. So the enterprise architecture is really the integration of business strategy and technology strategy, and it entails a lot of experience, no, to get to have this kind of I call it skill to to create an EA, because it's not just about having that strategy and um, and the framework, but more importantly, you have to know the proper technology that will solve the right problems. So in EA, we cater to business, what you need, the data, where are the sources, how do we generate them, what are the data governance strategy for them, for application. So it depends on the process flow workflow that um, or the applications that your department would have. For instance, for PFM, we have a lot of applications. So in terms of technology, we're integrating all of them together. So there's no duplication of work. We don't have to input same data in multiple platforms or applications. So there. What we're doing here, really, what we've been doing in the past months as well, and then while we're solutioning, is we determine the challenges like logistics costs, the risks of having lost documents, manual follow-ups, labor-intensive validations, which actually would lead to certain human interventions, and that's usually where corruption um, is happening. So once we digitalize this, we're actually eradicating corruption. So this is something that I'm very much passionate about. So we're getting these challenges into opportunities like zero delivery costs, secure and centralized document management system, automatic project updates, or updates. You don't have to call and get people to or ask people to follow it up for you. You just see the updates there in 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 uh, in your laptop or in your computer, and then system-based eligibility checking. So most of them are should be coming from policies or defined policies that are already out there. So it's just a matter of digitalizing this policy and in putting in the public finance management EA. So what we're doing, we would call this like we're breaking down the process, and then when we break down the process, it's when we determine which points to automate. So we're in terms of workflow automation, like for example, document upload, data entry, file upload, and then acknowledgement, and then approve, reject, notifications, and so on and so forth. And and mind you, this is really process based. So technology, digital transformation is really more of determining which pain points you have to digitalize and automate in order to provide a um, more efficient service ng public service in the government. So uh, imagine this is just for one application. So we did this designing for in the automation of our local government support fund requests. So because when a local government would need additional funding, this is the portal wherein they have to request. And we're very excited for this because we can we are eliminating lots of papers, and of course the manual follow-ups, and the LGUs will be able to see the updates of their requests so in the portal itself. And this is when we're trying to do the architecture itself, the workflow. So basically mapping out everything that we're we're doing manually, and then providing tech tech solutions for this manual. So manual processes, and then those are the points of automation. Mind you, it's really a very tedious and long process of determining the manual process, no. But fortunately, most of the government offices have already documented the processes. So it's just a matter of prioritizing. For us, we prioritize the LGUs. So there. What we did is we first asked our regional directors what their pain points were. So we had a design thinking with them. Told they told our team, our solutions delivery team, what their pain points are, what do they need, what in terms of dashboards or front end, what do they need to see in order for them to do their jobs. For external integrations, like which data are not available for them but can be available. So we're also mapping them out, and in terms of back end application or automation, how this kind of data will be interoperable with another data that's in another system that is also managed by DBM. So, in a way, this is true. I'm just explaining that it's true. It takes a village to do this. So it's not just my team, but also our stakeholders, our I would say frontliners in budget, because our regional offices are the frontliners in budget management. So we were able to do this kind of dashboard. We and so if you see here, they can already this is our view. We can see which are for pending, which are for approval, which are canceled. We also defined the parameters of the request. So it's kind of easier for them and for us to either approve, disapprove, and so on, because the parameters are defined. Um, and we also did a lot of workshop with about this data innovation with Microsoft in terms of data strategy. So because we want at the end of the day to have a visualization tool that will enable us to decide policies based on data. So we had this kind of dashboards that we were able to develop as a prototype there. So like it tap just one click, we can already know how much is the budget for a particular agency, or how much is the budget for a particular project, and so on. We also had a design thinking workshop on data governance. So public finance management is running on a code structure called UACS, so Unified Account Code Structure. So basically, we wanted to ensure that the transactions are proper. They're not just for budget execution purposes, but more importantly, for accountability. So we want to make sure that the funds is being dispersed for a particular project is consistent with how it should be spent, according to commission and audit, according to accounting rules, and so on. Third is the integrated financial management information system, tech scaffolding. So when you're building a house, you already have the architecture, but first you have to have the materials like the cement, the bricks, right, the sand, but you have to put them all together in order to build the house that you want based on the architecture. So for IFMIS, this is what we have. Of course, API application programming interface, process automation, modernization of the applications, because most of our applications are legacy, so meaning they're really, really old. And of course, the use of um, cybersecurity, network infra, and then we're also we are engaging consultants. And then for DevSecOps, it ensures that the security has been there since the beginning. So it's not just an afterthought. This is actually more efficient if you put in security from the start and not in the middle or end. Because if you think about them in the end, you have to reconfigure everything. and it also going to cost a lot. So for us to properly manage your funds, or the public funds, we need to anticipate. We need to put security from the beginning. Also, right now, because there's a lot of cyber attacks have been happening and so on. So we really want to ensure that the applications that we have are very, very much secure, especially that we're handling public finance. So what we intend to do in the tech scaffolding is to create Legos. Yes, it's a Lego architecture type wherein you're going to use application programming interface, and containers, cloud-based, and workflow automation, data warehousing, service-oriented architecture in order to create an ecosystem that's coreless, meaning it's not really, there's no single core, but they're all there are several modules. Okay, there's there's no single core because there's a lot of cores. Meaning the applications are interdependent with one another. So and it's one of the standard these days in terms of IT. So and this has been proven by several fintech companies out there that have been successful. So we're looking at them as well, and use the success stories that they had in order to create this scaffolding now. And then finally, on the RegTech GovTech part, um, at the end of the day, any technology um, solution, okay, or project, and program in itself, like the public finance management, will not be possible if weren't for policy. So there must be a policy mandating the use of the solution or the technology. Otherwise, it's going to fail. So it's really like a balance of tech and policy. So we have the EO 170 and the adoption of digital payments for government disbursements and collection. And we also have EO 29, recently signed by the President on the strengthening the integration of public finance management information systems, streamlining processes thereof, and amending EO 55. Basically, it mandates all of the national government agencies, government-owned and controlled corporations, and also encouraging our local government units to use IFNIS. So it's a welcoming one because it's going to be difficult for change management if there's no policy. So we're very glad that we have already secured the policy aspect of GovTech. And with everything that we have um, accomplished so far, I mean, in we're just 1 year in the administration, we were able to submit the Congress way before the deadline. Because under the law, if we fail to pass the law, to pass the general appropriations by end of the year, it will the old budget will just be reenacted. But that's going to be difficult because most of the programs, uh, in terms of the agenda of the government, will not be done or executed because programs and strategies change. So with this, we with digitalization we were able to do it on time. Okay, before on time, way before the deadline. We digitalized a single process wherein we enabled the viewing of notice of cash allocations. Usually it's done in printed way, secure manner. So we digitalize single process, and it saves at least just for one process now we save 33 million pesos. And imagine if we are able to digitalize several, we'll be able to save a lot of money for the public. And since we did that, there our government agencies can easily get already the funding that they need. We made it more, much more easy and efficient. And as I mentioned earlier, governance or policy is has a twin. There's no technology, so there you cannot technology cannot exist without policy and governance. No, so and first, before you do the tech, as I mentioned earlier, there must always be a process or policy on that the technology is trying to address or the technology is trying to comply. Okay, so there. It's really more of um, this the human trust and the technical trust that should be combined together in order for us to create solutions, no, and not just for public finance management, but this is also applicable for all kinds of projects that in the government and of course in other industries. Right now we have a program convergence budgeting wherein we are converging the projects that are similarly situated, especially in digitalization. So we get to have more savings to ensure that there's no duplication of certain systems. No? So that's what we're doing right now with the DBM. We're aligning much with the Department of Information and Communication Technology, so such that they are reviewing, they're assessing the applications and the digitalization uh, projects of all departments in the government, and those are ones, those the ones that they have endorsed are the projects that we intend to provide funding for. So with that, I hope that I'm able to inspire everyone to support the administration in pursuit of um, um, more transparent fiscal processes and technology. We have been very busy with identifying use cases and to determine which processes in the government would better provide more efficient government services for all. Like when we're going to launch our budget and treasury management system, we intend to prioritize the Department of Social Welfare and Development first because that would cater to more Filipinos that need financial assistance. So hopefully we will be able um, to provide that as soon as possible. But we're very we're working hard on it and to make it um, consumable to the public as soon as possible. So with that, thank you for your time, and I hope that I'll be able to meet you in person soon. I apologize for not being physically there for certain pressing matters in the office. So I hope that you you pray for our wisdom to finish the projects that we have to deliver for the Filipinos. And thank you and good day.